Good morning, Apollo Baptist Church, and all who are out in the world of internet connections watching this vlog. Today is Monday, January 25, and here in our Phoenix area, Glendale area, we are experiencing some rain. That is a wonderful thing for us. Um, it's one of the great joys. We almost want to go outside and just watch it when it happens. Um, I want to talk to you today out of Isaiah chapter 11 in our Bible reading plan at Apollo Baptist Church. Uh, we are in the book of Isaiah, and we're going at a very slow pace, which I love because it allows us time to think and to process and still not get behind in the reading plan. So we're not trying to cover as much land as possible. We're trying to get God's word as much as possible into our hearts, and that takes time. And so we've been reading slowly through the book of Isaiah, and this week we're in chapters 11, 12, and 13. Isaiah wrote, he was one of the great prophets, and he wrote primarily to Judah, but he does mention the northern kingdom as well. But in that period of time, God's people were very rebellious against God, and they did not want to follow God's ways. And God would discipline them like parents try to do. None of us are ever very good at it. And God's people didn't respond even to God's discipline very well, as we have seen in the book of Isaiah. When God would discipline his people, and what he did was he usually used another nation to do that, to come in and defeat them or to cause them to be submissive to another country, pay taxes and whatever. Rather than acknowledging, you know what, God's working in our lives, we need to humble before God, they would just get more arrogant. We parents know a little bit about that. None of us have perfect children. And raising kids is hard work. And you do your best to discipline them, and sometimes it seems like rather than the discipline falling on a heart that's tender and repentant, discipline falls on hearts that get harder. And sometimes kids, rather than saying, okay, I'll do it your way, they say, forget it, I'll do it my way even more. And Israel, the people of God, were like that. You know, parenting is such hard work, and one of the characteristics of good parenting is endurance, just not giving up. But boy, I tell you what, it is a rare truth when you can find that, because when parents discipline and their children say, forget it, I'll do what I want to do, and they get hard to deal with, and sometimes parents just say, I can't do this, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do. I just give up. Just let the kids do what they want. It's easier that way. Or sometimes in a marriage relationship, husbands and wives just can't pull it off. And rather than enduring through the problem and seeking God's help in the midst of the problem and doing it God's way in the midst of our stubbornness, sometimes we just say, forget it. I'm out of here. I'm tired of this. I give up. I'm not going to do it anymore. And there's divorce. There's breakage. And so we live in a world where a lot of our situations that we had planned don't happen. A lot of our desires don't become realities. God is like a father to Israel. He caused them to become a reality. And he's fathering them, and they are ignoring him, and they are rebellious against him. But you know what's so amazing about our Father? And it's true for Israel, and it's true for you and for me. Our Father isn't like us humans. He won't give up. He will not say, I'm done. I'm out of here. And in chapter 11, after he has disciplined his kids over and over again, and many times the discipline seemed to only make their hard hearts harder, he paints a picture that there's coming one who will come out of the root of Jesse, out of the tribe of Judah. There's coming one in the future. He will be a branch that comes out of a forest that's been leveled because of judgment. There's coming a day when there is a branch that will come out of the line of Jesse, out of the tribe of Judah, and this branch will grow up, and it will rule and it will reign. It will rule in righteousness. It will reign in justice. It will do what is right and truthful, full of absolute truth. That great God is Jesus. That great King is the ultimate King. And when he rules the world, there's coming a day when all of the rebellion will cease and all of the stubbornness will become surrendered and things will change. Ultimately, his plan will work. He will endure until it does. And this is one of those chapters that have some of those amazing pictures that you will want to read, because this is where some of these prophetic pictures come from that a lot of prophecy people will paint, and there's good pictures, but this is the root. This is where it came from. So you need to go back and see where this stuff is at. In verse 6 it says, and the wolf will dwell with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little boy will lead them, and the cow and the bear will graze, and the young will lie down together. The lion will eat straw like an ox, and the nursing child will play at the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child will put his hand on the viper's den. And they will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, and the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord. Wow, what a day that will be. Well, the reason that that day is coming is because our God does not give up his plan. Oh, us parents, we have a tendency to give up. Us in marriage, oh, we have an unfortunate tendency to give up. But our God doesn't. And our God's plan will work. And in the end, our God's plan will cause such a change in our world and in us, his people, that even the animal world is changed to where cobras are no longer dangerous, and leopards and lions can be together with a cow and no one get hurt. You say that's impossible. Well, it is with us, and it is in the way our world is right now, but it's not impossible with God. And so I want to remind you, and I want to remind me, we're not in this alone. We all have limits, but God, he endures, and he makes happen what you and I would say is impossible. He knows what he's doing. And he has chosen you, he's chosen me, we are his kids. And so let's walk with him, and let's rest in his ability to make happen what only God can make happen. Read your word this week, spend time with him, ponder. We'll never get to the bottom of it. There's always more than we'll understand. But I hope that you will let his word just saturate into your heart and tenderize your soul and cause you and I to think his thoughts and to see his possibilities and to find great hope and great strength as we face difficult days. Love you guys.